Hello and welcome back to Opulence with Gia. Thank you for tuning into my video, audio, wherever you are tuning into. I am your hostess with the mostest, Gia, and I'm a clear channel for Mother Agua, the mother of the oceans. And I have come here as a clear channel to activate, restore your highest intelligence and highest knowing that you are not limited, you are limitless. And your receiving capacity is actually no capacity. Um, you are expansive more than you ever have been taught, I'm going to say, because even in your knowing, you know that you're here to receive and expand, but we've been taught not to do that. So I'm here debunking and demything all those myths. All right. So as I said, I'm a clear channel. So of course I've already started the channel um, this entire episode. But today I want to talk about something that's very near and dear to my human experience, which is cultural programming. And this will most likely be an ongoing topic. I don't know if it will be a series or how this is going to land in the 3D, because I have the idea, I have the energetics, but I don't have the plan. But this is going to be a very big topic for my South Asian girlies and anyone who's been raised in a very cultural um, environment. I really don't have the human words to explain it, but I'm just seeing a lot of cultural programming becoming interference programming where especially women are losing touch of who they really are. And it's gotten to the point now where everyone on the internet is talking about being authentic in business, in life, in everything. But how can you fully be authentic if you're not aware of who you are because you've been programmed and conditioned to think from the box of your cultural environment and your cultural settings? And it's such a thick filter that's in our minds that we don't actually even acknowledge it as a filter. It just feels like our mind. Like it just feels like our brain. It feels like a natural thinking process when it's actually not. So this is just I would actually like to invite anyone that's tuning in to really think if you were not born into this culture, how would you be? Who would you be? How would you be and who would you be? Because culture leaves a massive imprint. It does impact on how we move in our day to day. Our choices with food, our choices with clothing, our choices with life partners, everything, everything. And I was born and raised here in lovely Canada, Ontario. I was born in Mississauga, actually. But I was born in a Punjabi Sikh family, which is a Indian family, Northern Indian. And my entire life, I've been outspoken. I've been loud. I've been wrong. My entire life, I've just been wrong. I can breathe, and my family's like, "Ah, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong." And I did not realize when everything I did, every decision I took till date, until I acknowledged and cleared out this programming and the energetics of it, is that every time I tried to do something, I would feel immense, immense amount of self-judgment and shame, where I would actually try to mentally organize other people's projections, and I would already have assumptions on how they would receive me. So I had been doing a lot of mental work around just trying to be myself. And this all started from childhood, from a cultural programming, because here's the thing, if you're Punjabi and you're tuning into this, you all know what I'm about to say. Whenever you say something that is not culturally appropriate or does not align with your parents and your family's programming and conditioning, values and traditions, they immediately go to you, Sharm nahi aunਦੀ, Sharm nahi hegi, which translates to, don't you feel ashamed? Where's your shame? These two sentences are repeated in every household daily, to the point where we are being imprinted with shame constantly. And being a woman, I find especially, this is constantly said to us, like even with our clothing, where's your charm? Where's your shame? Where's your shame? Why would I feel ashamed for wearing a freaking tank top when it's 30 degrees outside and hello, wake up, where I'm safe. I'm not in a village in India. I'm here in a very diverse city where being a woman, I actually have sovereignty and I am safe here wearing a tank top, because they're so conditioned and programmed to believe that certain clothing puts you in danger and make you a target, which is all false, by the way, which is all false. That's basically gaslighting you as a woman, or the victim, even in some situations, where your way of being, your way of dressing, your way of speaking, or way of even just looking is used to shame you. Like, oh, you're so beautiful. This is why men keep talking to you. No, men are just being men. It has nothing to do with you. People are just peopling, right? But there's such a cultural shaming and programming behind that. So I have a lot to say on this topic, because I find now as an adult, I find constantly girls in their 20s, late 20s, early 30s, whatever age group they are in, trying to find a man so they can leave their parents' house. Because we are Indian. Yes, I look Indian. I eat Indian. I speak really good Punjabi. I'm very fluent, but my belief systems are Western, because I went to school in a Western society. But when I come home, I'm constantly told that I'm Indian and I should behave like an Indian woman, when that is not what I am witnessing and that is not what I'm being taught. So what do? I lie. I lie to my parents. I sneak out of the house. I do all these things that are very bad for you. But in the world I'm growing up, these are very normal things, like going out to the movies with your friends, wearing that piece of clothing, or talking to a boy, dating. This is normal in North America to date. It's very normal. And now in other countries like India, it's become more normal. But I'm talking about, when I was in high school, which was some time ago now, 10 to 15 years ago, it was a big thing. It was new to my parents. It was huge. So I snuck around their back and did it. I still did it, right? But that is a disconnect. Our upbringing is happening in a Western society. It's not happening in a Eastern society, to say, right? And I don't want to get caught up with this East-West and so forth. I'm talking about cultural stuff, right? You can still be born in the West like myself and still be very cultured because your family and so forth. But we really need to be mindful on what traditions and values and belief systems are actually supporting our current life and our current timeline, our current experience. Because a lot of the stuff that my parents did growing up has nothing to do with me. It does not support me in this country. And let alone the fact that in many cultures, women don't have sovereignty. They don't. They're overshadowed all the time, right? They have very boxed idea of how you should be a woman. You should be soft. You should know how to cook and clean. You shouldn't laugh too loud. You shouldn't wear skirts and tank tops, whatever that is. There's always a limitation towards women. So I find now, back to my original point, kind of derailed there, a lot of my clients that are South Asian have come to me and said, oh, and these are girls in their young 20s and mid 20s, Brilliant, fabulous spirits, so much potential, hate living with their parents, don't like it because of disconnect. So what is their way out that makes them feel safe? Like, okay, yeah, this is safest way. I can leap and do things I want to do. They're all trying to date a guy so they can get married and leave because that is the safest way to leave your house. But a woman, I want to wake you up. I want to wake you up and let you know it is safe to move out on your own. It's safe to rent or buy a house or a place or have a roommate and have your own space without a man. But and again, my experience is with the South Asian culture, so I'm going to keep referring to that. If you resonate and you're a different culture, let me know in the comments below because I would love to know your experience too. And this is literally making a lot of women that are looking for a man so they can leave the house and just move out and just get away, get there, take a break, catch themselves. You are now so desperate to find your man that you are lowering your standards and you are not being yourself. You're not vibrating high anymore in your true authentic expression because now you are in survival mode and you're constantly putting yourself there. When the reality is we don't live in a society where we are suppressed. We live in a society where we have a voice and our voice is valued and we have rights and we can move out. We can make an earning. We can do whatever we want to do. But a lot of South Asian women cannot seem to see that or comprehend that or even think about that being a possibility because they've been so conditioned that without a man, you can't buy a house and you can't move out and you can't do whatever it is. So I want you to think, why do you want to be in a romantic relationship? What is it doing for you? What is it doing for you? Why is your safety net contained within a man? Because that is the core cultural programming we get as South Asian women, that you stay quiet, you act polite, and you become someone's wife. I'm very feminine, but I'm not quiet and I'm not soft. And I don't care for the soft era. I don't care for it. I don't. I have something to say. I'm going to tell you loud and clear. You can perceive it soft or hard, whatever you like, but I am me. I am in my authentic expression. And all this cultural programming, yes, you can't fix other people. You can't deprogram your parents and your surrounding, but you can be the leader. You can be the leader. You can go first, sweethearts. You can go first. I'm going first with my lineage and my family. I will be moving out of my parents' house without a man into my own home. And my parents are freaking out. And they keep asking me, so what about your wedding? What about your wedding? What about your marriage? I just laugh. I don't let their projections shake me because I know that is not my reality. My reality is I'm a sovereign being. I know what I'm doing. I have confidence. I have faith in my money. I'm fully refunded, fully resourced. I am everything. I'm a whole being on this universe. I don't need a extension. I mean, yes, having companionship is beautiful. Having a romantic relationship is beautiful. Love is beautiful, but it must come from a sovereign place. It must not come from a place where you are trying to escape, where you're looking for safety. That is not unconditional love. That's very conditional love. So as South Asian women, I highly recommend we stop looking for refuge in men. Because I get it all the time, my South Asian clients. Oh, I'm looking for a partner. I'm just gonna marry my husband, move out of the house. I'm like, why don't you just move out of the house? Because your true desire is to move out of the house. It's to have boundaries with your family. It's actually not you wanting a romantic relationship, but the only possibility you've ever been shown is that you leave the house with a man. Well, let's evaporate that. Debunked. That is false. That is false. But there's many more aspects to cultural programming. How we sit, how we eat, how we walk. We are constantly being told that we are Lakshmi, that we are the goddess of prosperity. We are the golden goddesses, right? We're constantly told that in our households, constantly. Then we're told we don't know how to act. And then we're told that we should shut up. And then we're told that we can't do A, B, and C because of whatever excuse. But at the same time, they're telling us that we should be worshipped, but they're not worshiping us. And they're not, forget worship. We're not even being respected. Our voices are not being valued, and they're being overshadowed by hardcore cultural programming in an environment that does not, it doesn't even exist. So how do we help ourselves remove these filters? How do we start seeing more possibilities outside of our cultural programming? How do we commit to being authentic beings and understanding from our core who we are? Who are you without your mom and dad? Who are you without your father's last name? Who you are without your lineage? Who are you? These are the questions from a very meta level, from the 3D level, we need to start asking ourselves and start moving more and becoming and embodying our core selves, because that is the goddess code right there. I see people all the time in the spiritual world, you know, doing goddess activations, goddess coding activations, all this. Those are all beautiful and they're correct. But how can you activate something if you're not even aware of it? And that really starts from within. It really does. I cannot activate something for you if you don't even know what it is. So if you don't know who you are without mom and dad, without your husband, a partner, your dog, whatever it is, whatever you're clinging onto, the extension of you, anything outside of you, you're not being fully sovereign. Who are you in your sovereign being? And a lot of cultural programming also programs us to people please. And especially as women, we are told how we should look because our appearance apparently should be pleasing. And if our appearance is not pleasing, then we are not good enough. But we are the goddess though, right? We're the goddess, but if we're not beautiful in this individual's eyes, then we are not enough. Like, what the fuck is that? Seriously, like, it's not our job as women to please you and your eyeballs. It's not. But we're constantly projected like objects and things like that. And this goes on a societal level now, right? It's outside the cultural programming, it's societal now. But the thing is, in certain cultures, we are constantly being prepped to be someone's wife. So we're taught wife etiquette. So do you even dress and look the way you are? What is the programming behind the clothing you are wearing currently? Because once all these filters are removed, and you know who you are from your being, you are activating your goddess coding. And that is not just supporting you and your lineage. You are not just freeing the past of your lineage. You are not just leading and setting examples and marching and paving the way for your future lineage. You are clearing the collective wounding from our wombs and the divine feminine and the divine masculine as well. You are supporting the collective then. Because I've had it. I'm really tired of being told that, oh, women are everything, our next life comes from women. We're so grateful for women. But then we are humiliated, we are disrespected, we are treated like trash on the daily by our own families. And this is now I'm feeling this on a collective level. There's a lot of anger, a lot of sacred rage, I'm going to say, about being authentic, especially as a woman, especially as a woman that is a minority, that comes from a very hardcore cultural background. And again, excuse me if I'm not trying to offend anybody. It's just that my own personal experience is what I can speak from. So I've been speaking as a South Asian woman that's actually Canadian. So I have more layers of confusion. Because at home, I was told that I have to respect my elders, I have to respect my older brother, I have to listen to him, I have to listen to my dad, to listen to everyone that's older than me. Then I would go to school and they would teach us respect is earned. If someone does not respect you, you don't have to respect them. I would come home, everybody would be disrespecting me because I was the youngest kid in the family. And they would want respect back from me, even though they were not respecting me as an individual. And I fought it. I said, excuse me, no, in school, our teacher said this. And you know what happened? I got my ass whooped. They said, no, we're not white. You can't act like a white person here. And I was like, what? White? And that's the first day I learned, oh, like, yeah, like I'm different. Like I'm brown. I had no idea. I had no idea. I was in grade one and I had no idea that I looked different. I did recognize that I had longer hair and I was eating different foods, but I didn't go so deep into, I'm a kid. Like I wasn't like, oh, this is white, black. I didn't know. I just thought we were, oh, kindergarten, grade one, ha ha ha. Like. But then I was told, hey, you're acting too white. And I was like, aren't we in Canada? So behold, a year later, um, I started talking back. At 7 years old, I started talking back. I was like, you know what? You should have not come into this country if you want to act like you're still in the village. I'm like, I'm gonna keep telling you that you're not in the village. And I am now 27 and I keep telling them that, hey, guess what? We are not in a village. I can act like this, I can say this. I'm not going to be punished, and you will not be in trouble. Don't worry about it. So that is a cultural program. And this is a very surface level, by the way. This is nothing. If this has shaken your core up a bit, oof. Having the experience of this confusion and the battles is completely different. Um, but yes, I'm very, very happy to say that I have taken massive leaps in the meta world, in the 3D level as well, of moving out without a man, being sovereign, working the energetics out of my filtering systems, leaning into other perspectives, reflecting on my experience, forgiving a lot, because I do recognize that that is my family's programming. It's not their fault. They were raised in an environment where women were not safe, unfortunately. They weren't, right? So it was their way to protect me or whatever. I've completely deprogrammed myself from cultural filters and societal filters. I actually don't have them anymore. I don't have them. I don't think I need to do anything. Like, I don't need to get married, have children to be considered successful. I don't allow anyone's projections and realities and stories affect me because I understand exactly where they are speaking from. I've removed all that distortion out of my energetic circuit board and my physical circuit board as well. But my human, of course, is wobbling and shaking because it's releasing a lot. Whew. Um, but that's okay. I'm gonna allow my body to process everything. But sorry, my channel interrupted and said, oh, ding, ding, ding. Sometimes they'll do that. Um, since I've lived this experience out, and of course, this is going to be a very public video and recording. Some things are so deep, such as sexual energies, the trauma of being a woman on the planet, the effects and imprints of cultural and society and lineage traumas and experiences is a very deep topic. And that is something I'm going to do live actually on July 7th. I'm going to be hosting a event where I'm going to actually do all live channeling and energy work in dismantling and deprogramming all of this out of your circuitry board, out of your womb. Okay, and we're going to do a lot of timeline work as well, because again, it's not just your wounds that we're carrying wounds down our lineage as well. So we'll be removing that as well. But this is a massive, massive, like, go time. This is a call to all of the women that feel suppressed in their homes and don't feel like they're enough ever, no matter what they do. Sweethearts, it is not you, it is the programming. And I invite you to join me live at this beautiful liberation party that I'm throwing on July 7th. It will be happening at 11 a.m. And of course, 7/7, July 7th. Ooh, I just caught that. I just caught that. Yes. Okay. Thank you, guides. I will be doing all energetics and we'll be having a very live discussion on everything about this. And you will have interaction. It'll be a full engaging Zoom deal. Now, of course, I would lead everyone into it. And no, it's not just a meditation. No, I'm going to be opening up the Akashic records and we are going to go deep with this because this is a call and a nudge from my guides to support and to transform a lot of women to become leaders of their own lineage. Because we can't move as a collective unless you move. So in order to move the collective and release these wounds, I need you. I need you as much as you need me. So I'm going to share my strength, all my tips and secrets and everything. And of course, the energy work, which is a massive accelerator when it comes to collapsing energetic blocks. So I invite you to join me live. And of course, the link will be linked in my description and in the bio as well. I love you so much. And of course, I am not a formal person at all. So I never know how to start or end these things. And of course, me being a channel, I go straight into channeling because I don't know what else to do. But I love you all so much. And I really hope this resonated. And I would love to know in the comments on how this made you feel and what shifted for you and what you realized from the questions that came up. And of course, we are all alchemists. We can turn anything into gold. Anything. And I would love to be a part of that picture for you and accelerate that on July 7th. I will see you all there. Until then, have a very, very blessed day, a week, a lifetime, until we meet again. I love you all. Take care.